Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, no longer California, Los Angeles, to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, and this right here is Strictly Football here on the New American Media division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Thank you all for being here. Week 3 was a doozy. We're going to break it all down with Mike Bara, Jim Mitchell, Ez'Ryel Robinson, and myself. So let's get the show started.
Hi, this is Aaron Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Thank you all for being here. I love talking about football. Mike Bara, isn't it the best? It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes, we get to talk about football. It's fall. It's cooling down here in Vegas. It was only 86 or 87 today.
Ooh.
My God, it's fall.
Chilly.
That's awesome. And what a great week. I mean, the three main teams here, they all won. The Seahawks, the Browns, and the Cowboys didn't win. Sorry about that, Izzy. But yeah, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, Brian.
2 out of 3 ain't bad indeed. It's nice. I don't know how many times we've had it where both my team and your team have won. I don't recall that.
Not very often because your team sucks and they hardly ever win. So
Facts. Jim Mitchell, thanks for joining us again. How are you today, sir?
Doing good. Wasn't doing too good Sunday. Went 4 out of 5. So my ticket got killed by our favorite team, the Packers. So
yeah.
All you had to do was listen to me. I picked the Browns.
I think it was the Browns that killed your ticket, not the Packers, man.
Hey, I'm just saying. I was 13-3 last week with my picks. We'll get to that a little bit later. Ez'Ryel, Izzy, you went with Ez'Ryel and Jigba as well?
Nah, just put me on there. I like that.
We are all Nijigbas now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me better? I'm on my phone.
I can hear you 1,000% better. This is perfect.
All right.
Yeah, Izzy, sorry about your Cowboys. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is. Well, let's go ahead. I'll kick it. Mike, let me start with you. Let's go ahead and talk about your side and your team. We'll kind of go through the 3 of our teams. Your Seahawks can go first. I'll go to my Browns and go to
it's Jim's teams too. And
of course, yeah.
And of course, I mean, let's talk about last week. I mean, all those blocked field goals. What were there, 4 or 5 blocked field goals? A couple of them returned for touchdowns. And I had a ticket. I had lost because I bet on Houston. I'm not betting on CJ Stroud or Houston anymore. As much as I love CJ Stroud, that team is a mess. So that's not going to happen. They are a mess. But I mean, imagine literally, I had won that game. I had the Rams up 3. The line was 3.5. The Rams were only down 2. Last play of the game, they're going to kick a field goal, right? And I win no matter what. If he misses the field goal, I only lost by 2. I win my bet. If he makes a field goal, I win easily. And it gets blocked and returned for a touchdown by a 900-pound lineman. God, that guy could run fast for a guy that big. Yeah. Jones or whoever it was. Absolutely amazing weekend of him. That's why we love football and stuff like that. But getting to my Seahawks, there's not a lot to say about it other than they were completely dominant. And, you can say what you want. I don't think the Seahawks are really all that good. But as I said before, don't overreact to week 1. That's not who the Seahawks are. They've shown much better in weeks 2 and 3. They played much harder. And the thing I love about them, and Jim will comment on this probably, is how much more disciplined this team is than it ever was. Pete Carroll's teams were the sloppiest teams in the league. All these penalties, all these stupid plays, all this crap is always tolerated by Pete Carroll. Now that virus has transferred here to Las Vegas and infected the Raiders. Seahawks have a couple key things here. They've only had 2 offensive penalties, I believe, in their first 3 games. That's phenomenal. Never would have happened under Pete Carroll. The other thing is they're number 2 in scoring defense right now, which is a phenomenal improvement from where this team was, both in terms of personnel and scheming. So I think Mike McDonald's coaching is beginning to hit. Let's face it, the Saints were not much of an opponent. That was Joe Frazier versus Ron Stander. There wasn't really much hope. But to their credit, the Seahawks executed. And another thing I thought was really interesting, Jim, is Pete Carroll would have found a way to make that a close game. Because Pete Carroll made every game close by his passivity, his dropping into zones, his taking his foot off the throat of the opponent way too early. And I'm just really glad to see a coach who has a killer instinct. I don't care if we're up 35-10 at halftime. We're going to keep doing the things we're doing successfully. We're going to keep throwing the ball. That's what impressed me. And as a Seahawks fan, I don't think we're as good as the Rams, but the Rams took it in the nards, on that play. So, I'm feeling better about my chances of winning my NFC West division bet this year. Jim, how did you feel about the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Frisco's at the top of the division right now, 3-0, but they're decimated by injuries. I mean, it's just piling up. I mean, Nick Bosa's out for the year now.
It's a shame.
I mean, he's just one of many injuries that are out for the year. Mike Evans is out. For the Buccaneers. Najee Harris is out with an Achilles. For the Chargers. Yeah, James Conner is out for the Cardinals.
How long is Conner out? I missed that one.
I think he's out
the whole season.
What's that is?
I thought he was out the whole season.
Well, Izzy, do a double check while we look. But geez, a ton of injuries this week.
Yeah, no offense to Conner, but that don't hurt our feelings.
Yeah, he's out for the season.
Oof.
Tyrone Tracy's out for the Giants. And C.D. Lamb is out for the Cowboys a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Cam Scattaboo time in New York. That's fun to watch, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure Izzy will say something about this, but I saw a picture of C.D. Lamb's injury, and he ain't coming back for a while.
Yeah, I'll watch it live.
I'm shocked he's going to play again this season because it looked awful.
Let me add to that, the Cleveland Browns, DeWand Jones, are massive. What is he, 6'5", 6'7", our right tackle. The opposing player dove at his knee and blew his knee out. That's happened to Nick Chubb. That's happened to DeWand Jones. I don't know why the NFL is not protecting the players against diving to explode knees, but I'm calling for the NFL Players Association to do something about that. Because there's freak accidents and then there's dirty plays. And unfortunately, that took one of our starting tackles.
That looked almost intentional. I mean, that was terrible.
Mm-hmm. And I get it because he's 6'6". He's a massive beast of a human, but play him like a man. Like that diving at the knees things, there's no business in football for that. But what any main takeaways from the Seahawks win? Obviously, it was against the Saints. Not super unexpected, but did anything blow you away? As a fantasy owner who drafted Kenneth Walker, boy, oh boy, was I happy. He helped me get a win this week.
No, nothing surprising. I mean, it was a big number. I mean, as far as to bet the game, I mean, I wouldn't bet the number, but it was a play as far as a money line play on a parlay. Spencer Rattler is now 0-9 straight up as a starter. Just to go into next week or this coming week, and that stat popped up to teams that. Played the 49ers the previous week are 17-30 straight up the week after. So that's a 2-1 edge, in favor of the Seahawks. But that hook on the 7, I mean, was just terrible. It opened at 7 and closed at 7.5. So they were encouraging Saint money. I don't think that they got the Saint money on the other side, but that's what they were looking for.
It's going to take a lot more than a half-point swing.
They're going to have to give him 10 points to get anybody to bet on the Saints. I mean, and Rattler, I love Rattler too, Jim, but, he didn't play that bad, but he also wasn't able to elevate the team beyond.
No, if Rattler played for the Seahawks, he'd more than likely be a better quarterback.
Well, yeah, I think he'd be about equivalent to Darnold. I don't think there'd be a whole lot of difference except for their paychecks.
Well,
but,
before they drafted Gray Zabel, I mean, the year before we wanted them to draft Rattler. Both of us were asking for Rattler, and it didn't happen.
Well, you're talking about Gray Zabel and quarterbacks, and I'll tell you what, my Cleveland Browns have got to get offensive linemen like crazy. We need our quarterback, but our whole line, they are retiring, not signed to next year. It's going to be very interesting for us. But congratulations on your win. Unfortunately, Izzy, your team did not get the win. It was the coming out party for Mr. Finger Paint. Caleb Williams gets a fairly impressive win over a non-impressive Dallas defense, rather. Tell us about the game.
Yeah, I watched it live. It's just people thought that Matt Eberflus was a bad head coach with the Bears. I mean, that's arguable. Like, he was pretty bad. They say he's a better defensive mind, so he'd probably be better at defensive coordinator, and that does not seem to be the case throughout the first 3 weeks. I mean, week 1 against the Eagles, I kind of blame that a little bit more on the pass rush, but then week 2, it's horrible defensive back play, horrible coaching. Same thing happens with week 3. I mean, we played good throughout the first half. It was tied up in the first half, coming into halftime, and then after that, no idea what happens. Offense is trying without CeeDee Lamb. He gets hurt. I don't know what they did with him. They put him in the backfield. They ran the ball with him like a running back, and a linebacker came down. His body weight got put on his ankle, so he's going to be out for a while. He tried coming back in the game, but he couldn't do it. And then, Dak Prescott, he has 2 picks. One of them was like a late game. It was 4th down in the back of the end zone. I mean, it's whatever. The other one was a surprising drop by George Pickens. He was wide open off a slant route. He dropped it, ball went in the air. Same dude who picked it, Tremaine Edmonds, caught it. So it's just a bad game overall. I'm not going to make any excuses, but I highly do believe that we should possibly start looking for a new defensive coordinator because, man, oh man, I don't know what schemes he's running, what he's telling the DBs, but they seem to have zero communication on who's running past him, who's running where, and where they're guarding their zone. So,
well, I'll tell you what it seemed like he was saying. It sounded like the defensive coordinator said, all right, let's make sure Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden III have a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
4 touchdown passes for Caleb Williams. No stupid mistakes. I mean, this was a game that you were hoping out of your number 1 overall quarterback.
Let me tell you, too, Dan Quinn is one of the great defensive coordinators.
Oh, man, tell me about
it. And the Seahawks, Legion of Boom, was never the same after he left. It was good, but it wasn't like it was when he was there. He's so smart. It remains to be seen if he's going to be a great head coach still. He's been to 1 Super Bowl, but as a defensive coordinator, he's brilliant. He's beyond brilliant. He just gets the most out of every player that he has.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was beautiful when Dan Quinn was there. We were blowing teams out. They were barely scoring. I was hoping that we re-signed him or possibly moved on from Mike McCarthy, signed him as a head coach, and he went away. Yeah. And our defense has seemed to struggle ever since after that. So I have no idea what the problem is. It's most likely Eberflus.
Jim, you had a thought?
Yeah, the Bears were 12-33 straight up coming into this game, and like I mentioned before, I mean, didn't believe it, but the Bears opened up as a 1.5 point favorite, and that number.
I didn't believe it either.
Cowboys.
Well, I picked the Cowboys.
-1.5, and by that time they were encouraging Bear money coming in, making the Bears as a dog, and they outright won the game. As far as defensive coordinators go, they need to bring Dave Wannstedt out of retirement. Wannstedt.
They need to bring anybody.
And
either that or North Turner. I mean, one or the other. I mean,
he's an offensive coordinator, though. Newsflash, by the way, Caleb Williams is good. Caleb Williams is really good. And newsflash, he does not.
He was good. He was good. He was good this week.
I was going to say I expected both offenses to score a lot of points, but I didn't expect it to happen like this. I mean, the Cowboys barely scored on offense. I mean, we lose CeeDee Lamb, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I drafted Luther Burden III high, I think, in my second round of my Dynasty League, and it's nice to see him on the board putting some points up. Yeah, they have talented offensive playmakers there in Chicago, and they have a defense that can play pretty well. We've seen it over the past few years in spurts. But yeah, Cowboys dropped to 1-2 on the season. Let's
Yeah,
move over to the
so-
Browns. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so the Bears are coming to Vegas this week, Mike. So we shall see.
Ooh, well, unfortunately, I'm going to be in Nashville. Who are the Titans playing? Yeah, I'm going to be in Nashville, so I'm like, that would be a game. If I could get a cheap ticket, I'd probably just go down and just watch the game. But
No, Titans are going to be in Houston.
okay, well, no football for you.
No football for you. Well, hey, there was football for the Cleveland Browns. This game was a bit of a train wreck. The Browns defense was playing very well because if you haven't noticed, we are the best defense in the league, and they're talking all-time best defense of all time. 3 games in, obviously, whatever, but we're setting the tone. And if you're watching the game, I don't know what they're doing on the line, but I've never seen a line operating this way. They're sort of reinventing what it means to play defense. And it's fantastic to watch because I'm such a fan of the defensive end position. It's incredible. The Browns were shut out this whole game, still hanging around, 10-0. And then we scored 13 points in the last roughly 3.5 minutes of this game. I don't know who had this on their radar, but I'll tell you what, I just want to give some kudos to our general manager. Andrew Berry had a fantastic draft. Carson Schwessinger with the at middle linebacker. He's an instant starter, looks to be Pro Bowl quality. We have Quinshawn Judkins that appears to be the bell cow running back of the future. We slid back to get Mason Graham, who's absolutely dominating, teaming up with Myles Garrett on that line as a number 5 overall pick out of that team up north. And we pick up the Jacksonville first-round pick next year. We have 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel, who's just waiting in the wings. Will they play him over Flacco? Not this week, but they're looking for some mobility out of the position. And Harold Fannin Jr., not to mention Shedeur Sanders. This draft is a fantastic draft. I just want to give some roses and some kudos to our general manager who screwed up the Deshaun Watson trade so badly and bailed on Baker Mayfield way too soon. But my God, that defense was fantastic. We blocked a Packers attempt to kick a field goal and win the game. And Joe Flacco and the team were able to make a quick 10-yard, 12-yard pass across the middle. Barely had time to spike it, clock it, and we have rookie kicker on top of all of the things that our general manager did right. He got Andre Schmidt. Obviously, he lost us the first game of the year, but this guy kicked a 55-yarder. His time expired to win at home in a redemption game. So many storylines. This defense looks absolutely filthy, and they're still getting better with all these rookies. I have reason to have some hope finally in Cleveland. We knock off the Packers 13-10. Any thoughts on this game? There were a lot of things. You had your hand up first, James.
Yeah, this line opened at 8.5 Packers at Cleveland. And I personally think there was a lot of wise guy money on this because it went from 8.5 and immediately went to 7.5. You know, which they were encouraging Packer money to come back on the game. But I think the wise guys were actually on Cleveland this week. And as far as your defense is concerned, I mean the over under I believe was 44.5 on this. And
God, that's a double what it came out.
Yeah, what was the total? 23?
Yeah, 23. The Browns have the best defense and the worst offense at this moment.
If you like over unders, I mean, I'm not touting it this week. I mean, they've got the Lions this week, and the Lions just seem to be putting up points on the board. I mean, at will. So I would probably stay away from the over under on this, but the under on this game was definitely the play.
All right, Mike.
Well, I saw a lot of the game. It was an exciting game in a sense. You know, it's one of those low scoring 1970s 13-10 games, you know, that they used to play all the time in the NFL without the weather. But it was a fun game to watch. I mean, congratulations to your guys. It showed that the Packers are mortal, right? And defense, you know, number 1 in yards. Yeah, to me, scoring is defense. And I think, you know, I don't get why anybody rates anything, you know, the number 1 defense in yards is not, that doesn't mean anything because, you know, it doesn't account for garbage time. It's scoring that matters. How do you keep teams down? And the Browns are still really good at that. But I mean, your pass rush is phenomenal. Contain Jordan Love. That was the key thing. And just an excellent excellent overall game. And you guys had a block kick in this one also, one of the 4.
Yeah, the Packers had a chance to essentially win the game, essentially turn it into something much more difficult. It's kicking a 55-yarder is a lot easier than scoring a touchdown.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, they had two guys. Denzel Ward went full Superman mode off the side, and I think it was maybe Aiden Huntington got his hand on it. I mean, that undrafted free agent, another Andrew Berry score from this year.
Yeah.
We've had to build through the draft and by creative measures, and I got to give Andrew Berry credit in his flowers this year, because we've been playing with our hands tied behind our back with that Deshaun Watson deal, watching Baker. By the way, Baker's thrown the most touchdown passes since he's arrived in Tampa out of any quarterback in the NFL, while we're still looking for an answer. So it's interesting times in Cleveland. But yeah, it was a very interesting, hard-fought game, and this defense is going to keep us in damn near every game this season. We held Derrick Henry to no yards on the ground. Game one, we held them to no rushing as well against the Bengals. Izzy, what did you take away from this one?
Well, I'm one of the two people here that chose them to win, so I'm not that surprised. It was a great game, a great defensive game. Like I could have said in the beginning of the season, the Browns would be top 5 in defense. Their defense compared to the Green Bay Packers offense, like I said, the Packers don't have a definitive wide receiver one. When you go against a pass rush and a defensive back specialist core like that, it's kind of hard to get around. And you do have a star running back in Josh Jacobs, but with that D line, it's not a whole lot happening there. So it was really relying on the offense to get up points. And they did get a block punt, field goal, and all this other stuff. But just good team win. The offense needs to step it up, though. Maybe see a quarterback change. I don't know what needs to happen, but you need more points on the board for the amount of stops that you're getting with that defense.
Yeah, and people are wondering if Joe Flacco's being handcuffed, that he's so in his head being told, don't throw an interception, that he's not even looking past his checkdowns for the most part. And when you're new to a quarterback, that's almost the end of him. But, luckily he had the veteran presence to get through that. If we don't get those 12 yards or however many yards that was on the final play before the kick would have never had a chance. He's not kicking a 65-yarder to win. Although it was long enough, he might have made it from 65. But great win. Jim, did you have your hand up? Do you have one more point on this one?
No, I'm good, Brian.
Okay, got it. Well, that's what I wanted to say about the Cleveland Browns. I want to congratulate your Seahawks, who were talking about overall defense. In 2025 so far through week 3, your Seattle Seahawks are ranked number 5 in the league, only giving up 18.7 points in the NFL through 3 games. That's pretty good. But number 1, Cleveland Browns, only 12.3 points. That's 6.4 points less. I mean, we're 4.5 points ahead of the Broncos.
Defense like that. You play defense like that, you're going to stay in games. Seahawks have an easy schedule. I'm optimistic that we're going to have a pretty good record going into the tougher part of our schedule. So,
who has the worst defense in the league? Can I ask that?
Is that you? Well, I will ask Grok while we go to the next game. I'll throw it to one of you guys.
Yeah.
So I kind of had it planned out that you guys would handle the NFC West, but all the teams are playing different teams. Do you have a game that you guys want to go to? Do you want me to pull one up and you'll just raise your hand? You guys tell me who wants to lead. We can talk.
I think we should talk a little bit about Eagles Rams, because between that and the Ravens game, it was like those were the 2 games of the day.
Perfect.
Rams, I was really impressed with myself. I said, look, Rams are going to beat them. I thought they were for a quarter, 3.5 quarters, give or take. They played like it, but they just, they had them down. They played good defense. They scored points. They exposed some of the Eagles' weaknesses, but the Eagles just don't quit, and they just keep coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. And then Jordan Davis makes the phenomenal play. I mean, that game was lost. That Eagles game was lost. And then Jordan Davis breaks through the line, blocks the kick, and then returns it, outrunning the everybody on both teams to score the touchdown. And that's just unbelievable. So, you're not going to see a more amazing comeback than that this year, probably. So, kudos to the Eagles. That's why they're champions. And it's when you're in that groove, you make the plays you got to make to win the games because you know how to do it.
Right. And you asked this a second ago, Izzy, the top 5 worst teams as far as allowing the most points this year. You're not even in the top 5. Jets, Bears, and Titans are both roughly 31 and 31.3 points. Ravens are giving up the second most points allowed per game at 32 points. Dolphins are the worst, 32.3. But yeah, that vaunted Ravens defense they've given up quite a few points, and definitely yesterday had something to do with it. Anyone else have thoughts on Eagles-Rams?
Yeah, the NFC East. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of it. I knew they were up most of the game. The Rams were, and I heard that there were like a lot of blocked field goals and stuff going around the league because I woke up late that day. So, I mean, the Eagles, they put up a lot of points. That blocked field goal or whatever gives them the win. But I expected the Rams to win. It seemed like they had the game sort of, and they just fumbled the bag. It seems like some special teams coordinators need to either lock in or lose some jobs this week. But yeah, it's a great game. AJ Brown stepped up, and the Eagles, they played a great game. Besides the run game, Saquon only had 40 yards off 18 carries.
Yeah, gave up 12 points in the fourth quarter to get the Eagles win there. And Jalen Hurts 3 touchdowns on the day. Passes going to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Jim.
Yeah, this was my favorite money line pick of the week, actually. Jalen Hurts now 18-0 as a home favorite. 18-0 as a home favorite. I watched the first half of this game, and I said, boy, this is not going. This is not going, as far as the statistics are concerned. But, they pulled it out. I mean, they had, what did they have, 21 unanswered points last half?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Third and fourth quarter was all Eagles.
Yeah, and I know it's not a division game, but it is a conference game, the NFC game. The Eagles are now 5-1 straight up against the Rams. And they only play each other, every couple years, but 5-1 straight up. So I was happy with the win on this. So although the Packers killed my the parlay itself, your Browns.
Hey, I'll take it. I got to say, no shame for me. Let's stay on the West. Let's talk about Cardinals and 49ers. All right. So we briefly touched on the fact that they're still undefeated. 16-15. Mike, you surprised it was as close as it was?
No, I expected it to be a low-scoring, close game like this. That's pretty much the way it played out. Mac Jones showed us he's still Mac Jones. He's not really a great player, but he's good in the Shanahan system. So good for him. He did okay. But, Kyler Murray wasn't quite able to get the job done. Look, here's the bottom line. The Cardinals had the ball back with about, 3-4 minutes to play. All they had to do is get a first down, and the game's over, and they couldn't execute it. They had to punt back. They played soft. The 49ers come right down, get into field goal position, and win the game. But look, the 49ers are a mirage. They're a walking corpse. They're like a zombie division leader. I think it's only a matter of time before they start losing the games because they've just got so many guys that are critical to them injured. I mean, Bosa's now out of the game. Look, I'm sorry. If you don't have Nick Bosa, you might not even have beaten the Seahawks in week 1 because he might not have been there to make that play to knock the ball out of Darnold's hand. And Seahawks might have actually come back and won the game, even as bad as they played. So without guys like that, with all the injuries they have, and we're just waiting on Christian McCaffrey's first injury of the year. They're not going to stay up there. So, from a division standpoint, I would have preferred the 49ers lose, that the Cardinals win, because then they would be more relaxed on Thursday and not really feeling desperate to get a win. Now they're going to be more motivated to win. But that's another thing too. I didn't mention the Seahawks game is that game was over so early. Seahawks were able to rest starters, save them some reps on Sunday. So I think they'll be the fresher team against the Cardinals on Thursday.
That's a good point. Yeah, the 49ers also, let's not forget, they traded Deebo Samuel, a longtime staple at wide receiver, filling a void over there. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, it's just a matter of time. Missing their quarterback, Brock Purdy. Don't forget their tight end, George Kittle. He's out for I don't know how long. I think he's on IR at least 4 weeks. They are the walking wounded for sure.
Well, they might win this weekend because they're only playing the Jaguars, but they're going through the super easy part of their schedule has helped. But I think with all the injuries piling up, you're going to start seeing the wheels come off here a little bit in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Right. Okay. Any other thoughts on this game, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Jim.
This game opened at 1.5 Santa Clara, and it was bet up to 2.5. Encouraging Arizona money to come in, and it closed at 3. But even if you had taken Arizona at the beginning of the week, you were still a winner at 1.5 because it was a 1-point game, 15-16. But there was that looming stat. Kyler Murray is now 4-13. Is actually 4-14 now, straight up after a win, and they had won the previous week before.
The curse of
Kyler.
Kyler.
They beat the Saints. So
it continues on.
yeah,
Izzy, do you have any thoughts on this?
revolve around Kyler Murray. And Mike is correct about the 49er Jaguar game, by the way. The 49ers historically own the Jaguars. I believe they're 4-0 straight up against the Jags.
Yeah.
Well, let's all keep in mind that when the Browns slid from number 2 to trade away where the Jacksonville Jaguars took the Heisman winner, Travis Hunter, we went back to number 5, picked up Mason Graham, but we got Quinshawn Judkins thrown into the deal and next year's pick for the Jaguars. So I want the Jaguars to lose every single game imaginable this year so we can get a super high pick. That's for sure. Izzy, this is a West Coast team. Do you have any thoughts on this or just move on to the next one?
A little bit just about the teams. Yeah, the 49ers, like I said, they lost key players during the offseason. Now they lose more players due to injuries during the regular season. So I completely expect them to start dropping in the division. And the Cardinals, they just can't click it. First, it was Kyler Murray can't get the ball to Marvin Harrison. Now Marvin Harrison can't make plays for Kyler Murray. So it's just a weird thing that's happening over there. So, yeah, like I said, I expected either the Rams or the Seahawks to win the division and the Cardinals and the 49ers come in last, especially with Nick Bosa getting hurt. And about that Jaguars, for the pick'em, I will be choosing the Jaguars to beat the 49ers this week.
All right. There's a little preview of that. All right, Mike, let's bounce over to this one. Bills and Dolphins. Bills got the job done, but it was maybe a little closer than we thought. And people are wondering, should Tua maybe ride the pine a little bit, go to your backup?
Who are they going to go to? Who are they going to go to? And I saw one thing, look, again, the better team won. It wasn't really in question. The Dolphins kept it close. But Tua's last interception there, Kurt Warner's been talking about that. And he said that Tua didn't do anything wrong on that play. He's got to read, this guy first, the outside safety, and then the middle linebacker. And, that he really didn't feel like it was on Tua as much. And he said, you've only got so much time to process so much information.
Yeah.
And that was his go-to at the moment. The guy just made a great play, and people were, going after Kurt Warner for that. I'm like, look, if Kurt Warner's a Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer. I'm going to say that. But Kurt Warner is a Hall of Fame quarterback. So
and Mike, in this day and age, anybody can pause a freeze frame and make it look like he was wide open. That's what Odell Beckham Jr. did to run Baker Mayfield out of Cleveland. His dad made a mixtape.
Exactly. But what if his first read is this way and the guy's wide open over there? That's what they tried to do to Russell Wilson in Denver too. Is look, and Mark Schlereth, who now trashes Russ every chance he gets because he's friends with Sean Payton, pointed out in one game, his first season, he's like, his first read is to the left, and by the time he comes back to the right, the guy's covered. So these things happen. The football players know more about it. I don't blame Tua too much. I don't think they have a lot of hope. I think the problem there is the coach. We've got it now lined up. First coach to go is probably going to be Mike McDaniel. Second, Jim thinks it's going to be D'Amico Ryans. The
Houston.
Way they've started, they're terrible. Third,
He's
I'm going to
next.
throw Brian. Now that Brian Dable has benched the guy who just threw 450 yards 2 weeks ago and 3 touchdowns. Now that you've benched him to go with a rookie, I think Brian Dable's now third on the hot seat. So he's just trying to save his job, So hate to keep bringing it back to my guy Russ, but how do you make decisions like that? And I've looked at the fourth quarter. Oh, Russ just threw the ball away 3 times in that last drive. Well, first of all, even if they scored a touchdown, they're not going to win the game on that drive, by the way. And you look at the 22, and there's nobody open.
Yeah. And that's been happening with Joe Flacco. Our receivers aren't making any separation. Where's he going to throw it to?
Yeah. So who's he supposed to throw it to? So
by the way, I'm hearing the rumblings that they might want to go to Zach Wilson. You know how some of these players, like your Sam Darnolds, your Baker Mayfields,
you can have a resurrection, but Zach Wilson, really?
I don't know.
I haven't given up on him neither.
Yeah, I mean, you
No,
never
I'm just
know. And
gonna
then Quinn
look, I'm just
Ewers
gonna
sitting
play
his third
Tua.
string.
I'm just going to play Tua till the wheels come off. You know, I'm just going to and give him a
Well,
chance because the guy has talent. There's no doubt about that.
He does. He does. Who else? Anyone else thoughts on this game? Nope. Okay, let's move along to the next one. See, I like this. We're keeping it pithy. We're keeping it flying here. All right, how about the surprising 3-0 Indianapolis Colts? More than doubling up the Tennessee Titans. Not super unexpected, but seeing the Colts at 3-0, scoring 41 points. Jonathan Taylor, 102 yards, 17 carries, 3 touchdowns on the day. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes doing pretty good. They're calling him Indiana Jones now. Jones.
What can you say? What can you say? Izzy's right. Colts look great.
Yeah.
The running game is allowing Daniel Jones to do a lot of play action, and he's not in forcible passing situations. He seems to do great. And I've seen him have some great games. So good for him. It's they're rolling.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm high on this team. I mean, they scored 41 against the Tennessee Titans, respectively. But yeah, like I said, O-line makes a team. And the Indianapolis Colts have a pretty darn good O-line. And when you have a quarterback like Daniel Jones, of course, he didn't show it with the Giants because of the O-line. Now that he gets an opportunity, he's one of those players who's taking advantage of that opportunity and who's making it work in his favor. Especially, Jonathan Taylor. I'll give him credit too. When you do have a running back like that, it's kind of hard to pick your poison. So
he had that long touchdown run. I mean, he was like a pinball. He was bouncing off of things like a pinball.
Yeah, exactly. And he did the same thing at Wisconsin in college. And also the playmakers on offense, they have a lot of guys, just deep threat guys that could go down and grab a 20-yard catch. Like the longest reception, 20, 19, 17, 29. How many of those were in air yards? I say about a third of those. So it's just a really good team offense. And credit to the defense too. They're playing good so that they can keep the scores low against the opponents they're playing against.
Yeah, I don't know if the 72 Dolphins are necessarily looking in the rearview mirror at this team, but you know what? You never know. That's why you play
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
He might be playing like Arch Manning. This is what they think Arch Manning looks like.
Hey, now. Jim, any thoughts on this one?
Arch Manning.
Yeah, taunting a D3 guy or whatever.
Betting wise, this game was a gift. I mean, it was just tied up in a bow. I mean, the Titans 0-9 against the spread at home. Now 0-10 against the spread at home, and division game. Indianapolis owns the Titans. They're now 5-0 straight up versus the Titans. So. It was a good game to bet. It was a good game to bet, given the points, even though it went to 4.5.
All right, let's move over to Vikings, Bengals. The Jake Browning era has begun with a whimper. Cincinnati, formerly undefeated, drops to 2-1 on the year. Minnesota, kind of underperforming, really put a whopping on them, 48 points. They improved to 2-1 on the year. Mike Bara, the Vikings.
Well, we found out Carson Wentz is a lot better quarterback than Jake Browning, number one. Carson Wentz had a great game. They looked really good. I think he's better than J.J. McCarthy, honestly, and I always have. So I expect he'll be their quarterback going forward. I think you give Carson Wentz ideal circumstances, he's going to have a Sam Darnold type season. So, good for him. I've seen Carson Wentz play really well at times in his career. So glad he's still in the NFL. Glad he's got another chance. Look, Cincinnati, you are wasting all of this talent. And look, here's the thing. I hate to keep, again, bringing Russ up into it, but look, if the Giants aren't going to start Russ, if they don't want Russ, who threw for 450 yards 2 weeks ago, and what is probably, if not the best quarterback game in the NFL this year, it's the second or third best. You want to bench that guy, great. If Cincinnati, if you got any brains, just go trade for Russ, put him there. Yeah, the offensive line isn't good. Russ is going to get killed at times, but he's also going to be able to get the ball to these guys that you're paying and maybe save your season to some extent. So I like to see that trade happen.
Yeah, both
The
Jameis
Bengals-
Winston and Russell Westbrook are Russell
the
Westbrook.
Bengals-
Russell,
Yeah, or a team like Cleveland has quarterbacks to trade. The Bengals got to do something. They aren't going to trade in the division. Russ makes a lot of sense. Anybody makes a lot of sense. Didn't love Jake Browning. I like Jake Browning, but he's clearly not up to the task. So let's, they if they don't go get a quarterback this week, it's because they're cheap. So interesting situation there in Cincinnati.
indeed, gentlemen. Jim, Izzy, any thoughts?
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
that's all you, Jim.
Jim, go ahead.
Go ahead, Iz.
Yeah, last week I said Carson Wentz was going to get 4 touchdowns. He only got 2, but it was more credit towards how many points they were going to put up with the offense they had. I mean, they did go against Jake Brown, and their defense did have an amazing game. But, yeah, I feel like Carson Wentz is the better quarterback over J.J. McCarthy. It's kind of in everybody's faces. You don't have an offense like that and don't put up at least 21 a game. So, respect to Carson. But, yeah, I do agree with you, Mike. The Bengals do need a new quarterback if they want to try to salvage anything for the season. But, yeah, they're wasting talent. In my opinion, I say trade a couple guys, get some draft capital, and start building the team up not from the ground up, but start building the team so they have a competent all-around team. So,
yeah, both of these teams,
weird.
I have Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase in my dynasty league, and they are both underperforming severely for me this season. No touchdown for either of them in this game. But Jordan Mason had 116 yards on the ground and only 16 carries, 2 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah. I mean,
really
look,
good running back.
Jackson Smith-Njigba and Amon-Ra St. Brown look a lot better than Justin Jefferson so far this year. So,
well, you were the one that said Justin disappears. He wasn't there in this game either.
Well, I say he disappears late in the fourth quarter,
Right.
but usually he's money the first 3.5 quarters. Usually,
Things are changing in Minnesota, Jim.
Yeah, as far as Carson Wentz is concerned, I mean, one game does not make a season, and coaches historically say, you don't lose your job due to injury. Well, this may be the case. I mean, if he goes into Pittsburgh, and puts up a good game, they may go ahead and go to Carson Wentz. I mean, it's not inconceivable. But
Right.
as far as the Bengals this last week, 18-2 against the spread as a dog of 3 points or more. Obviously, this statistic would not go ahead and be valid, without Joe Burrow as being quarterback, because you got a totally different person under center.
Yeah.
Here. So, but I wouldn't anoint Carson Wentz after 1 week.
That's fair. But you're right. It's sort of up for grabs. I mean, yes, they invested high in their draft pick, but he's injured. If Carson can string a couple of really good games together, hanging 40 on teams, how would you sit that down? You wouldn't. I don't think you would.
Wentz's MO is he gets, as Mike can probably attest, he gets overconfident, as the games go on, and then he starts throwing interceptions. He thinks he can thread the needle every time, and he can't.
Well, the players in their year 2, 3, 4, 5, I know Carson's been around a little while longer, but I don't know. Maybe some players are able to mature with age. I know Baker Mayfield had a tendency to throw a lot of interceptions, and he hasn't been doing it. He's been throwing the touchdowns without the big mistakes. Well, let's talk about Drake May and Aaron Rodgers. Freaking Steelers, man. They just find ways to win games every doggone season. They're 2-1 on the year now. Patriots dropped to 1-2. And Mike, what do you make of this one?
Not much. I saw a little bit of it. Patriots are not there yet, and Steelers did what they had to do to pull the win out. Nice to see DK Metcalf actually catch a touchdown.
That's true. I will say the Patriots had several fumbles. Antonio Gibson had 1 fumble that was lost. Ramondre Stevenson had 2 fumbles that were both lost. And people are begging, what is it going to take for you to put your ball into the home run hitter of Travion Henderson from The Ohio State University, your very high draft pick in the draft? Give it to him. He doesn't put the ball on the ground. He needs a home run hitter. Give Travion Henderson a chance. They're screaming it from the rafters over there with the Patriots. But yes, Kenneth Gainwell with a rushing touchdown on the year. for the Steelers. Anyone else? Another thought on this game? Steelers, Patriots. Nope. Moving on. Cool. This is great. We are flying. See, we had a great production meeting about today's show, and it's working well. Oh, I love this game. Tampa Bay edges out the New York Jets. I mean, the Jets came roaring back with 21 points in the fourth quarter, but you gave the ball to Baker Mayfield with a chance to come from behind. So now every game this season, Baker Mayfield has led a come-from-behind, last-minute game-winning drive. This dude is clearly in the MVP consideration this season. Mike Bara.
Well, Baker did it again. Tough game, close game. Jets, Jets are playing hard. You got to give their coach that. They're playing hard. They're just not very good. Tyrod Taylor did okay. But, they just don't have a lot of talent, the Jets. And so, they didn't quite pull it off. And there we are. So good for the Buccaneers. I think they're a good team. I don't know if they're undefeated good, but they're good. And they got a winner who doesn't like to lose leading their team. And that matters.
Yeah, I think Chris Godwin is making his way back. He moved from out to questionable, I think I saw on the list. And now Mike Evans has another hamstring injury. I think 7 years in a row he's had hamstring injuries. So it's super important that they did what they did to draft Emeka Egbuka that had one-handed circus catches. And the one that they didn't call, he actually had that one too. It's just so fun to watch those two connecting. Any thoughts on this game? Izzy, Jim?
Yeah, this game was a lot closer than forecasted. The number on this game was 6.5 Buccaneers. If you'd like the money line on this game, I mean the Jets are now 1-9 straight up against winning teams. Buccaneers 12-4 straight up as a home favorite. So, actually the number bet on this would have been Jets. 6.5. I thought this number was a little big when it opened, but if you took the number in the Jets, you were a winner. You cashed a ticket. If you had the Buccaneers on the money line, statistically, as it said, if you picked the Buccaneers to win the game straight out, which they should have, 1-9 straight up against winning teams, that was the play.
Gotcha. Izzy, thoughts? You good?
The Buccaneers, they're a great team. As long as they got Baker Mayfield, they're gonna keep winning games. But a note, they gave 21 points in the fourth quarter to the Jets, and the Jets only scored 6 points throughout 30. So that's kind of a big concern with the fourth quarter defense. Besides that, it's a great win. So.
Absolutely. And that's so reminiscent of what the Browns did. No points all game until 3.5 minutes left. And they roared back to a touchdown, a field goal, and then a game-winning field goal, all in 3.5 minutes. So it's just any given Sunday, and you're never out of it until you're out of it. So, keep fighting, I suppose. All right, Washington versus Las Vegas. They doubled them up, essentially. The Commanders improved to 2-1 on the year. Vegas drops to 1-2. Geno Smith had 3 touchdowns. No stupid mistakes, but it was not enough for Marcus Mariota. Yeah, that's a name I thought was done in the league, but Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. Talk about
Daniels didn't play.
Yeah, he's out. Mike, first, thoughts on this one?
Raiders suck. I had that game up on my corner TV because it was a local game in the morning. Geno did okay, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, but they were not really in the game. They had a moment there where they led, but Commanders, Redskins just did what they wanted mostly. I can only imagine how bad this would have been if Jaden Daniels had been the quarterback. So, typical Pete Carroll team, just not that good, not that disciplined, not that smart. And it's too bad. And, Ashton Genty, why'd you guys take him if you're not going to give him more touches? I mean, he had 17 carries, a couple catches? Did he have a catch even? It just seems like use him, the guy.
That's the Travion Henderson thing that we're screaming about the Patriots. And guess what? Quinshon Judkins with the Browns, he missed game 1 because they held him out while they were sorting out an accusation that didn't turn into anything. He leads. Quinshawn leads all rookies in rushing. He's the number 1 leading rusher, and he missed the whole first game ahead of Janty. So it's like you didn't have that on your bingo board at the start.
Yeah, Janty got 17 touches, 63 yards, no touchdowns. You got to get this guy 25 touches, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. Just get him some touches and let him play. That's why you drafted him. What, 7 overall?
Yeah.
You know? What are you doing?
I completely agree. I had him getting 100 yards this week. Unfortunately, he didn't. But, yeah, I completely agree. It's just a game situation where they give him the ball. They don't give him the ball in the right moments. They let Geno do what Geno is going to do, depending on how he feels about it, start moving around in the pocket like a chicken with his head cut off. But that O-line, it's not that good neither. It's kind of hard to run the ball. But even when you give Genty the ball, you see flashes of what he can be. And then what's the point of drafting a guy that I can agree? Yeah, he gets 17 carries, but in what situations are those carries in? Are those vital carries that can help the team? But it doesn't seem like it. Even if his O-line's bad, he still shows you that what he can do. So, yeah, I completely blame Pete Carroll and Raiders' struggles this year.
And by the way, this was a problem in Seattle, too. They just didn't get the ball to their guys at the right time in the right situations. And it just offensive talent, but they just didn't utilize it. And they went through coordinator after coordinator. It's just something about the personality of Pete. I mean, literally, I feel like Pete's probably saving Ashton Genty for the playoffs. And it's like, dude, you're not going to make the playoffs if you don't give him the ball.
Playoffs?
No. All right.
Jim, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah. Redskins 15-8 now against the spread. This is, like Mike said, this was a corner TV game. Not a lot of interest in this. Probably the most glaring aspect of this was this game went way over the total. I mean, it opened at 44.5 and final score was 65.
Redskins got 41 all by themselves. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's without their starting quarterback. They had 3 rushing touchdowns. Jeremy McNichols, Marcus Mariota, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt all went in on the ground. Also, just kudos to Trey Tucker, the Las Vegas receiver. 8 receptions on 9 targets, 145 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the air for Trey Tucker. That's huge.
Yeah, the defenses were just sitting on the pines, drinking Schlitz beer all day. So
drinking Schlitz. Or maybe some
he does not know what Schlitz is. Schlitz malt liquor. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and you'll never know because I don't think they make it anymore.
All right, let's talk about. It was the 70s thing.
Yes, although I think they make Genesee Cream Ale. That was always the garage beer, and like where we snuck one
maybe
in the garage.
Genesee Cream Ale, not in the Northwest.
Hey, who had this happening? Atlanta Falcons got shut out. They have Bijan Robinson. They have Drake London, Kyle Pitts. They have some players, Tyler Algier. Michael Penix actually got benched in favor of Kirk Cousins. Carolina Panthers improved to 1-2 on the year. Falcons fall to 1-2 on the year. They got shut out, Mike. 30 points for the Panthers.
I bet this game. I thought the Falcons were going to win. Falcons were going to win. They were terrible. Michael Penix had his worst game as a professional. Big surprise. Jim has some road trends that I bucked because I thought the Panthers were really terrible. Panthers wanted to win this game really bad, and they played really hard. And
division.
I don't know what to think about the Falcons now. It was just an awful game for them and for Michael Penix. And I still believe in Mr. Penix, but even though his own team put out a graphic showing his name as Michael Penis Jr., he's still my guy.
I love auto incorrect. Auto incorrect is the bane of my existence.
Did you see that? Michael Penis Jr. No,
Michael Penis.
An X, not an S.
And it wouldn't be so bad if it was Michael Penis the third. You're like, ooh, that's a penis. Yeah. But now it's like, it's a Penis Jr. You got to say it in a high-pitched voice.
That's my nickname, too. So.
Yeah. Didn't he get benched during the game? They brought Cousins into play, didn't they?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins came in. He may be there for a while, but I don't know. We'll see.
And remember, in the
Yeah.
offseason, the Browns were desperately trying to work a deal to bring Kirk Cousins in, reunite him with Kevin Stefanski, who was his coach up there in Minnesota. We settled on Joe Flacco instead.
That's another guy to keep your eye on for the Bengals, too, is Kirk Cousins, if they can absorb the cap and if they want to pay it. I'll check their cap space in a second, but he would be a great fit for them, too, because he's so experienced and professional, as is Russ, but Russ can still move a little better than Kirk Cousins. So, we'll see.
Falcons are just not a good road team. I mean, 8-19 straight up on the road. And it's a division game, so you expect Carolina to play them tough. I mean, 8-19 on the road. I mean, that not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you, the Bengals have $11.7 million in cap space, so I think they could easily absorb either Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins if they want to make a trade for a quarterback. But they better get on it because they're going to lose their season if they don't.
It's not like it's a big road trip either. I mean, they're crossing 2 states, to get up to Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Division game.
It's not a lot like they flew a 6-hour flight and had to play on the road at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're right.
And look, I'm happy that the theoretically worst team won, because Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers are my second favorite team now. I root for Baker forever. So now it's the 3-0 Buccaneers, and the other teams. I think the Saints are winless, and then both of these teams are 1-2. So they're sitting in a really good position, 2 games up after 3 games to start the season. Izzy, any thoughts on this one? Or
I still do believe in Michael Penix, but I still don't understand why they bought in Kirk Cousins, paid him that money from last year while he played pretty good last year. But there's no reason that you should be getting blown out by the Carolina Panthers with that kind of offense that you have. There's no world where you put up 0 points. That's inexcusable, especially for that NFL team. So
yeah. By the way, just to add to what I just said, they're not trading Kirk Cousins. The Falcons can't trade Kirk Cousins. It'll put them way over the cap by $10 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
This year, so he's not going anywhere. Now the question becomes: do they go to Cousins? Or they probably go with Penix again next week? But
they do give him another shot. But man, I don't understand why you give Kirk Cousins that amount of money. And he played, like I said, he played pretty good last year, but it's just inexcusable to get donutted by that team. So,
they gave Cousins the money before they drafted Penix, so it kind of mattered who was available at the moment. I'm sorry, Jim, is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. Also, I mean, I know there's a salary cap and everything, but who owns the Falcons? Arthur Blank owns the Falcons. He owns Home Depot. He can scratch that check. Kirk Cousins is probably the highest paid journeyman quarterback in the NFL, next to the bearded guy from Harvard.
The business
Ryan Fitzpatrick, and don't forget about Sam Bradford, who played for 15 years.
Kirk Cousins has probably made $200 million.
Yeah.
Traveling from team to team.
In fact, Jim,
and what you said is correct, Brian. The reason why, of course they drafted Penix, but it was after they had already scratched the check to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and they didn't know Penix would be available at that spot. He slid to him like you don't pass up on what you thought might be a generational quarterback, and he still might be. Everybody's allowed to have a shitty game, but this was a pretty big donut against a not so good team. Mike?
Yeah, right. Kirk Cousins has the Lifetime Achievement Award for stealing money in the NFL because he's been good, but not this good. Career earnings, $293 million.
Oh, I was off by $93 million.
He'll go over $300 million this next year because his money's guaranteed. So if they cut him next year, he still gets paid. So, oh my God.
Him and his agent are a hell of a salesman.
Yep.
Gotta love it. All right, let's talk about this one. Jaguars get the win over the Texans. Texans, man, the wheels have come off, Mike. They drop another one on the season. I wish this was regardless, Texans are winless, 0-3 on the season. Jacksonville improves to 2-1 on the year. 2 rushing touchdowns for Jacksonville, Etienne and Tootin, both on the ground over there. And CJ Stroud threw 2 more interceptions in a touchdown pass to Nico Collins. Any thoughts on this one?
Well, just quickly, I'm not giving up on CJ Stroud. He's still one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. I still think he's going to win more than one Super Bowl. This is clearly, to me, at this point, a coaching and scheme issue. And he's forcing things. He's forcing things because they just can't generate any offense.
Yes.
I don't see any solution there except when they change the coaching staff. So, CJ, if they believe, hey, look, you know what? If Houston wants to trade CJ Stroud for a couple of first-round picks to my Seahawks, I'd say, here, you can have Sam Darnold and 2 first-round picks. I'm doing that, but I don't think they're going to do that. So,
Yeah, and my Browns own the Jaguars pick, so I want them to lose every single game imaginable. This one hurts. I felt like the Texans are clearly the better team, but they're clearly not. They are not right. They haven't been right for basically 2 years. Is it?
A year and a half at least. I mean, since about week 6 last year, and Stroud and Ryans, they were so good in his rookie year, and then I guess they lost some coordinators, they lost some receivers. I don't even know what to put my finger on there because I don't watch the team closely enough. But the problem is not CJ Stroud. Just as I would say the problem in New York is not Russell Wilson, I'm going to tell you the problem in Houston.
It's not Stroud.
And by the way, the Texans were good when the Browns were good 2 years ago, and we made the playoffs. That's when the Texans knocked us out of the playoffs. They were good. They were scheming. They were good. They were on the come up. And just the past 2 years, I think the wide receiver injuries to Tank Dell and others really hurt. Nico Collins being there is helping, but they're just missing pieces, Izzy. They're not quite the team they used to be.
Yeah. My input is I have a good Texans friend. He lives out in Houston. The scheme, they lose coordinators. The scheme turns pretty weird. They're too centralized around Nico Collins. They're putting him to be someone like Justin Jefferson. I'm not saying he's bad at all. He's 100% top 15, but you don't put that much, not even pressure. You don't scheme around someone that much to where it's so one-dimensional, where you're trying to get him the ball almost every play. You just don't do that. CJ Stroud's not bad on any account. I believe he's a really, really good quarterback. And I'll preach it till the day I die, probably. The O-line for the Texans, they lose 2 guys this offseason. Another guy gets hurt this season. You can't, as a quarterback, it's so hard to process everything when you're getting rushed by 6'6", 250-pound men immediately. Yeah. So, it's mainly, a scheme coordinator. Stop trying to force feed Nico Collins the ball. They draft 2 receivers in this draft with the 3rd and 5th round, both from Iowa State, and they don't even use them. They don't even put them in the game. So
Jaden Higgins and Jalen
Noel, and I don't understand what they're doing over there. So they could be a lot better. I chose the Jaguars to win. So
Jaden Higgins had 1 reception for 5 yards, and Jalen Noel had 1 reception for 4 yards.
Yeah,
maybe they're just not ready. Maybe they're just not ready. But you gotta play the young talent and get the ball.
The part about Noel, they don't even put him in the game. They only put him in the game once. Like every one play, he's a punt and kick returner. So scheme and O-line. I just put it that way. No blame on Stroud at all.
And also Nick Chubb, you're going to give him 9 carries. He's healed from his injury. This guy gets stronger as the game goes. He squats about 900 pounds. Maybe it's 700. I don't know, but it's superhuman. You pound away at a defense. You give him, he will bust some through. 9 carries for an entire game. And in a very low scoring game, how are they not running the ball on top of it? Jim, thoughts on this?
Yeah, this game opened. Jaguars as a 1.5 point favorite. This was my game of the week as far as I was concerned. And after doing research, I ended up taking this off my parlay. I mean, I didn't even include this on my parlay by the time I put my teams together. Texans going into this game 5-0 straight up against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. 5-0. 8-2 straight up versus the Jaguars. Historically, the last 10 games. I mean, this game was screaming, bet the dog. But, Mike and I were walking through the Suncoast the other day, and we walked into the Racing Sportsbook. D'Amico Ryans is up on the board futures bet. You get 13.5 to 1, as being the second one fired this year. So, again, this was another deer in the headlights game. They kept
and now we can add Brian Daboll. Let's add Brian
His
Daboll.
eyes look like saucers. He looked like Mike Singletary coming over the line. I mean, it was ridiculous. Out of here.
Out of here, he says. Well,
Yeah.
hey,
Did not bet the game. Laid off it. Called Mike. Said, "Don't put the Texans on your ticket."
I did, and I'm stupid for doing that.
well, we're having fun.
Brian, I get this call. I get this call at 1100 hours on Sunday. Damn Falcons! My ticket's dead.
Fucking Falcons.
Who do you think made that call?
Failcon. Yeah. Well, okay, Jim. I should have listened to Jim because Jim's got a brain the size of a planet. I should have.
Well, look, Justin Herbert is impressing people. This is another come from behind one. This is a Justin Herbert in the MVP consideration. Only 3 games in. Myles Garrett, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, a few others. Keenan Allen going back to the Chargers is a really cool story. Catches a touchdown to tie it, and then kick a late field goal to beat the Broncos. Mike, I don't know if I was surprised by this one so much, but the Chargers are 3-0 right now, and Justin Herbert is, 300 yards, a touchdown, 1 interception on the day, but he made it count. Obviously, they lose Najee Harris for the season, but Omarion Hampton's sitting there. I mean, they're looking good. They're a team to be reckoned with this year.
Well, I hope they look good next week because I really want them to completely destroy the Giants, humiliate Jackson Dart, and make me look smart, and support my guy Russ. But they're a good team. They're well coached. Jim Harbaugh knows what he's doing. He gets a lot out of his players. His act may wear thin after 3 or 4 years, but most players rotate off rosters after 3 or 4 years anymore. And I thought I didn't watch a lot of the game, but you gotta give Justin Herbert credit for finally starting to live up to his bona fides. And Bo Nix, sophomore slump a little bit, not looking like quite the world beater he was last year. I was rooting for him, and I'm still rooting for him kind of, but Denver's just going to struggle, and Sean Payton is one of the worst human beings on the planet, so I can't say I'm not happy about it.
J.K. Dobbins with a rushing touchdown for Denver, and Omarion Hampton with a rushing touchdown for the Chargers. Izzy?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm 0-3 in my fantasy league. It kind of sucks. I got some of those guys on my team. But, Justin Herbert's been my favorite football player since I started watching him at Oregon when I was in middle school. He got drafted by the Chargers. I've always spoken highly of him. And, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I've always thought that he has intangibles for it. He has everything you need. Problem has been coaching. They get Jim Harbaugh, and now they are looking solidified with the amount of receivers they have. Keenan Allen should have never left in the first place, which that seems it looks like. And they're like I said, I had them or the Broncos in the first in the AFC West, and that is looking to come true. So hopefully they can figure out, because Justin Herbert didn't have a bad season last year. Hopefully they can figure out on playoffs. That's the only way I'll put it now. But yeah, I mean, they beat the Broncos, so that's a huge one in their book.
It's funny. When the Seahawks were looking for a new head coach in 2023 or 2024, I wanted Harbaugh. That was but there was so much acrimony between Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh and the Seahawks and the 49ers that I just think they couldn't go there. But I would have been happy to have Harbaugh because his teams play hard, his teams play smart. The guy hates to lose, and he's ultra good.
Imagine what he'd do with Kenneth Walker.
Oh, he'd use him like a meat tenderizer. Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah.
Jim, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, San Diego opened at 2.5. So if you'd liked San Diego in this game, you went ahead and cashed your ticket. It quickly went to 3, though. So on a straight bet, you would have got your money back because the number landed on 3. Donkeys not good on the road. Donkeys 6-24 straight up on the road. But that, of course, that's not under Sean Payton's rule.
Right.
17-25 against the spread. Now 17-25-1. Not good. Not good at all. Not good road team. Not a real good showing, as far as a division game goes.
Yep. Well, young quarterback, underwhelming results sometimes. 2 not young quarterbacks now, Chiefs and Giants. You've talked about this a few times. What have you not said about Russell Wilson in this game? that
Not
you
much.
would like to say?
Not much. It's just look, you don't give up on the guy that throws for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns the previous week because of a game like this. If you put up that screenshot I sent you, it's on my Twitter. Can you put that up? It's in the background, Brian.
Oh yes.
This
Let me
is
grab
the
it.
4th down play where Russ threw it
Oh,
away.
I can't show it or else YouTube will yank it.
It's
But
just-
tweet it out and tag TNAM Football, and we'll
Okay,
share it
so
out so
just
everybody
tweet
check
it
out our
But,
Twitter account.
I mean, again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to something David Carr said the other day. You can criticize Russ all you want, but who's open on these plays? I mean, he looked at all 4 of those plays on the 4th. By the way, like I said, even if they'd scored a touchdown, the Giants aren't going to win the football game because there's less than 2 or 3 minutes to play in the game. But
Okay, if you're just showing an image, I think we can just show an image as long as it's not video.
Nobody's open. He's trying to throw the ball, I guess, to the tight end in the middle. Everybody's covered. Nobody's open. One guy's double covered. And the bottom line is this is a team that's under-talented and under-coached. And I don't think the Jackson Dart thing is really going to work out very well. And I think Brian Daboll, what kind of odds can I get on Brian Daboll being fired third? James Mitchell.
He's going to be probably not as high as Ryan's. I think he's 9.5 to 1.
So I didn't even know there's gambling lines about which coach will be fired and
fired in what order. And the thing is that the Chiefs.
In all honesty, Brian, I'm making that shit up. All right.
Yeah.
But it has to be. If you'd imagine, I'd imagine you'd want to put his name on the Epstein list or something, get him fired quicker. You could
Chiefs,
put your fingers on the balance of the betting odds.
In that game, the Chiefs were like Muhammad Ali fighting George Chuvalo, some slow white guy. You just couldn't get under the jab. They just kept him behind the jab the whole time. It wasn't even close. So just that's the kind of game it was.
Yeah, as I was watching it, I mean, it was surprisingly close for a while, and then a couple of dumb plays, and then Patrick Mahomes does his patented, I'm going to run around, I'm going to go this way, now I'm going to do a spin, now I'm going to run this way and just chuck it, close my eyes. There's a 65-yard pass completion. I hate watching those.
Did you see one of the things that made me love Russ was there was a playoff game against the Vikings in 10 degrees. And the ball gets snapped over his head. Critical time in the 4th quarter. Ball gets snapped over Russ's head. He turns around, he runs. He's got his mouthpiece right here. And as he runs back and picks up the ball in 10 degrees, he has the wherewithal to reach up, put his mouthpiece in, and then throw the ball 45 yards downfield to Doug Baldwin to score. They ended up scoring a touchdown on the drive to win the game. That's composure. Patrick Mahomes, he throws a lateral. It's behind the line of scrimmage. The Giants see it. They get it. One of their guys picks it up, and Mahomes runs over there and steals it out of his hands. Mm-hmm. That's a competitor. That's a smart football player. That's a guy who's got, you can call it whatever you want, savvy, moxie, intangibles. The guy is a great player. And that play, to me, that was the most important play of the game. Really,
you're so right, and that happened a couple of times. They kept going back to that stupid behind the line of scrimmage live ball screen play, and it wasn't working well. And it went so off the rails. Yeah, he was the one that ran over and got the ball back. That was a big shift in that game.
I think it was a game-saving play. Really,
I agree.
And you just got to give credit to Mahomes for having the football awareness. That's just.
I will give him credit on that. I will say that. Izzy, Jim, thoughts on this?
I didn't watch the game, but yeah, I don't think Jackson Dart's going to do good next week. I feel like he'll have a bad game. I do believe he'll be pretty good this year, though. But yeah, they shouldn't be switching up from Russell.
Well, I mean,
one thing I can say, Malik Neighbors got hurt, and that's very unfortunate for my fantasy team.
Yes. Well, the thing is, is that you don't make a change like this when the rookie's going to have his first start against a Jim Harbaugh coach defense. Okay, what they should have done is just run it out another week. If they wanted to get rid of Russ, run it out another week with the veteran, because he's going to give you a better chance to win than the rookie is, and then let the rookie come out against whoever their next opponent is. Somebody who's not quite a Jim Harbaugh coach team. Yeah.
And that, by the way, Mike, that's the same exact conversation that they're having in Cleveland. Well, we can't let rookie play against these juggernaut defenses. The Packers are really good. We don't want to do it in London. There's so many things a rookie has to take in. You don't want to put him in a position to fail.
Yeah, and their next game is the Saints. So that's the perfect time to bring in Jackson Dart. You don't throw him to the Wolves. It's just not. I don't think it's very smart. You don't throw him to the Wolves. They should have just let Russ play one more week if they wanted to make a change, and then let Dart start against the Saints.
Dart start.
Well, the thing is, they're setting him up to fail. They're setting him up to look really bad. And
it's an organization that doesn't really have much of a game plan. It just doesn't feel.
It's a coaching staff and a GM trying to save their jobs by doing what the fans and the New York media is clamoring for. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's ever worked out well for either a Jets or a Giants coach when they did what the media and the fans of the teams wanted them to do.
Right. Meanwhile, you look at the consistency of Andy Reid over there with the Chiefs and the Eagles going, man, if you could just get a 15-year steady, consistent, fantastic coach to lock it in, it makes so much on your team that much better. Jim, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this was the prime hedge game of the week.
Okay.
Mike, you're going to make up a parlay, put this game on it because this will protect your ticket. You could bet the other side and take
because
the
because it's the late Sunday game, because it's the
late Sunday game. Right if you have $100 bet, for instance, if you laid like $38 on the Giants, you get all your money back. So, I mean, the glaring stat on this game, the Giants are now 1-17 straight up on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night football. 1-17. I mean it's gift wrapped, you know. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and put the Chiefs on your parlay and put them on the money line. Don't worry about the 6.5. Just have them win the game, and that way you can just come over the top and bet the other side and get your money back. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are just outstanding in the month of September. 26-6 straight up is Andy Reid. Mahomes is 18. Now 19-4 straight up in September. Mahomes is 21-5 straight up after losing a football game. So this was the prime game to go ahead and put on your parlay if you were going to make a parlay. This was your insurance game.
Yeah. And it played out how most of us expected, although I picked the Giants. That was one of my 3 losses this week.
I got a question. Is Malik Neighbors out this week?
Yeah, I think he might be.
I think he's questionable with a quad.
Yeah, questionable. Yeah, I knew it wasn't that bad, but
that would explain the point spread line in that game.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Final game was yesterday. Lions beat the Ravens. It was kind of close, but Lions had more than Lamar and squad, Mike. A lot of scoring, 68 points in this one. I don't know how surprising it was at the result, but it was an entertaining game.
How is a team as good as the Ravens that has Lamar 1 and 2? How are they 1 and 2? And I guess it's the defense is just giving up a lot of points. And I'm checking out right now, like what's their scoring defense. NFL defense rankings. I think you hit on it earlier, Brian. The Packers.
They're second worst in the league. The Dolphins have 32.3 allowed per game. Ravens are 32.
Yeah, so
right
they can't stop anybody, which is very uncharacteristic. But Lions, none of us wanted to touch this game. I didn't know what was going to happen. Jared Goff did not have a great game, only 202 yards, only 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. But Amon-Ra St. Brown made big catches when he had to. Who's the running back?
Two of the running backs. Two touchdowns for 2 running backs for the Lions.
Yeah. So, they just physically were tough enough. And that's the thing I didn't know. How tough were the Lions? And, they got Aiden Hutchinson back on defense. Their defense looks so much better. And good win for the Lions, man. Good win for them. 2 good wins in a row.
Yeah, I'll watch most of that game.
Browns opponent next week. So I'm wondering how that's going. The unstoppable force will meet the immovable object next week. Right. The Lions offense versus the Browns defense. This should be fun to watch. Is he?
Yeah, I watched most of that game. I'm not gonna lie, it was really good. Jared Goff, he was pretty good. They didn't pass the ball a lot, but the run game. I mean, David Montgomery, I think it was the 4th quarter. He ripped for like a 80-yard run, and then he got tackled within the 10-yard line. and it was pretty crazy. Yeah, both running backs are really, really good. The Ravens, they just keep punching themselves. Like I don't understand what the problem is with the defense. I know they have names all around the defensive side, and it just seems to not be clicking for them. And yeah, Lamar didn't have a bad game. The pass rush got to him. They had 7 sacks. It seemed like every down he was getting sacked. Derrick Henry fumbled in a pivotal moment again. Same thing as last week. And oh my God,
Stevenson hands. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea what's happening with Henry, but completely winnable game for the Ravens. But it fumbles and sacks and a whole bunch of missed opportunities. But yeah, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. The Lions, yeah, they're really good. If they're doing that against the Ravens, they'll stay competitive throughout the year. Week 1 was a bit of a fluke, a bad game.
Yeah.
So,
Jim.
Yeah, I laid off this game. I didn't want to play it. Even it was an evening game. It was a potential hedge game if you made a parlay. But the Chief Giant game was a better game to bet than this game. This game was more of a coin flip. I think Detroit outplayed Baltimore in this game. Baltimore's defense just didn't look good at all. Glaring stat in this game, going into this game, Lamar Jackson was 24-2 straight up against the NFC. 24-2. I mean, that's a big number against playing against the NFC. He's now 24-3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. But it's still a good number. Still a good number. Historically, looking forward in this game, I want to tell you guys something, that good football teams, which Baltimore is, when they end up losing, especially in a primetime game, the next week they have a real good showing. So take that into consideration if you're considering betting them against the Chiefs.
All right.
Even though Arrowhead is the loudest stadium in the NFL right now.
Second
used to be the Kingdome, right, Mike?
Well, yeah. Actually, Seahawks Stadium is definitely the loudest place I've ever been ever in my life. You may as well stand behind a jet engine or something. That was the 2005 NFC Championship game. Yeah, I've never heard something so loud in my life.
Yeah, I think they measured it at 98 decibels one game.
Yeah, Arrowhead and Lumen Field or whatever it is now, they go back and forth. It just depends on where you stick the microphones. And, a couple times at Arrowhead, I've seen them do this thing. They stick the mic right inside the speaker. It's like, it's pretty loud. But
ironically, they're both outdoor stadiums also.
Yeah.
I can attest. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was going to say that team should look at the design of Lumen Field, because if they want it loud, because they deliberately made a metal roof so that the sound goes up, hits the metal roof, and then cascades down onto the field. It hasn't been much of a home field advantage the last 3 or 4 years because, mostly Pete Carroll. But it's a big game. It's a loud place, and that helps your team. So
two quick points on the stadiums. Number one, I can attest to the Chiefs having been there for the opening game when after Baker almost took us to the AFC Championship game. We were winning until the last minute when Mahomes did that run around thing and chucked it, closed his eyes 60 yards downfield. That place became instantly the loudest place I've ever been, and I was at Woodstock 99. I also want to point out that the new Browns stadium they plan on building in Brook Park, it's going to have in the end zone, it's going to go one of those straight up kind of things like they do in college basketball, or actually in the NBA. I think the Clippers just did it. The Clippers have
the Clippers dome. Yeah. The wall. It's huge in real life.
It's weird to look at, but I think acoustically it adds sound as well. It brings some of that sound back in.
Yeah.
All right. You're right, Brian. You're right. I was at Woodstock 69 and Jimi Hendrix.
You're ancient, Jim. You're ancient.
Yeah, mine was a different generation, but point well taken.
You're talking fossil.
James Marshall Hendrix, 1947.
There you go. One of the greatest. All right. Well, that is last week's roundup. See, at the middle point, we were at 123. 123. We covered all last week.
Could have been worse.
At a middle point. I am moving as fast as I know how to be.
Yeah, this kind of felt fast, I'm not gonna lie.
It did feel fast?
Yeah.
But this was the midpoint, because now it's a measure of how much energy do we devote to the second half of the show, looking forward, all the gambling trends, the projections, and then
What's
so
that,
Mike,
Jim?
How would you like to handle this segment, Mike? What do you mind?
Why don't you show up the screen?
Okay, I can do that.
Twitter feed should be my Twitter feed that has Jim's pics on it, or is
Yeah, you sent it to me. Let me pull it up here.
Yeah.
Let me go full screen it.
Can we get it bigger?
That's pretty good.
There we go. We can read that. Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's the wrong one.
Hang on. You want me to spin to? Yeah, that's always the first one that comes out.
Okay.
So Jaguars Niners first?
No. There's
okay, hold on. Did I
No, that's the second sheet I sent you. I sent you that abridged sheet, Mike.
Yeah. Let me do. You can't do a screen share like Brian. I'm just going to screen share my screen.
Yeah, I can pull your screen up. Let me switch to
That'll have all the. Yeah, there it is. The extra Seahawks.
Oh, what did you tag me on next? That was a different one. It's fine. Okay. This will work.
All right. And if we can move the New American.
Yeah, I'm going to pull this one off. I got it.
All right. So there you go, Jimbo. Seahawks, Cardinals, props, and information. Not prop bets, but information for tonight's game.
We're going through the picks here.
Yeah.
All right. Seahawks, Cardinals, Thursday night game. This game opened at Cardinals 1.5, and it is still 1.5 as of now at the Suncoast. Over/under is 43.5. It's going to be an indoor game. Seahawks are 7-0 straight up versus the Cardinals. They are 4-0 straight up versus the Cardinals in Tempe. Teams that play Santa Clara the week before are 17-31 straight up the week after. The Cardinals got to play the 49ers last week, and they lost by 1 point. This will be a number one play on a parlay this week. Yeah. I like the 1.5. I'll go ahead and I'll take the 1.5. So we're not looking at a money line bet. So that'll bring the odds up on a parlay ticket.
Right.
I even like a straight up bet with the Seahawks this week.
Yeah. There's even
that's not a homer call between me and Mike either. That's a good bet.
No. There's also one other stat that I heard on Sirius NFL Radio. Kyler Murray is 8-21 since 2019, his rookie season against the NFC West. I am taking the Seahawks. I'm taking the points, and I'm betting that game because the Seahawks are probably going to win the game outright, and definitely a good bet to cover.
Yeah, I hate making the pick of the week at the Thursday night game because usually, if that game flip-flops, you end up killing your whole ticket, and you end up scratching out another ticket, because you don't want to give up on the football this week.
But I mean,
next game, Vikings 2.5 against the Steelers.
I was going to say,
hold on real quick.
Got something else on that game?
Well, just
go ahead.
There's four trends that say the Seahawks are the team to bet in that game against the Cardinals. 4. So that's pretty strong. 4-0.
Right. That Murray stat also.
Yeah.
That's just against the division, right, Mike?
Yeah. NFC West. That's his record against the NFC West, 8-21.
It's just crazy to think this is year 6 for Kyler Murray. It's just weird how time does that. Baker and Josh Allen, they're 7 years in. Yeah. Really? 7 years in already.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's still video games to be played, Brian.
This is true.
Vikings at Pittsburgh. Vikings are opened as a 2.5-point favorite, and as of this morning, it's still 2.5. This game is played in Dublin, Ireland, boys. So think about that.
What day of the week is that played? That's Sunday morning?
It's Sunday morning about 6:30 a.m.
Eastern time.
Pacific time. Yeah.
9
Pacific
Eastern.
time. So that would be 3:30 your time, right, Brian?
Oh
no, 9:30.
The other way.
9:30. Right. I'm backwards. 9:30.
Right.
Yeah. The weather in Dublin, Ireland on Sunday morning.
Rainy.
62 degrees, partly cloudy.
Okay.
Okay, so the weather thing would probably favor the Steelers since the Vikings are a dome team.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC North is 32-20-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. When playing in Great Britain, favorites are 36-10-1 straight up.
So does Ireland count as Great Britain?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, it's part of the British
Yeah.
Commonwealth.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think it's all the same island. So,
Okay.
yeah.
No, it's not. But
Well, I always confuse England, the UK, Great Britain, the EU. Like, there's all different conglomerations of teammates over there. So I always get
All right,
confused.
Mike, it's the
Great
same
Britain.
archipelago.
yeah, Great Britain includes Ireland and Northern
Ireland and Wales and Scotland, but they're going to play in Ireland this year. So
That's cool.
Great Britain favorites are 36-10-1 straight up in Great Britain and 32-15 against the spread. So we'll see how Carson Wentz plays across the Atlantic. Redskins at Falcons. Redskins opened at 2.5. This game has been bet down to 1.5. So they're trying to encourage Redskin money to come in. People are thinking the Falcons are going to bounce back. So if you had the Falcons, you could have bought them earlier at 2.5 and got 2.5 points as a home dog. They're now 1.5. Redskins are 15-8 against the spread. This is not a division game; it's a conference game. Don't have a lot of intake on this game as far as information goes. Saints and Bills. Bills are a 16.5-point favorite in this game. It's going to be 77 degrees in Orchard Park and sunny. The Saints
16.5. But I mean, the Saints are not
16.
good, and the Bills are Super Bowl contenders. That's a huge line, though.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
Saints are 3-11 straight up versus playoff teams. Spencer Rattler is 0-9 straight up as a starter. 0-9. The Bills are 12-0 straight up at home. Bills are 14-9 against the spread. They are 8-2 straight up against the NFC. Favorites of 4 points or more are 17-2 straight up. Double-digit favorites are 17-2 straight up also, but they're only 10-9 against the spread. This game screams money line. There is no way in hell I'm laying 16.5 against another NFL team.
what do they lose?
They are.
But Jim, they lost by 31 points to the Seahawks last week, and the Bills are better than the Seahawks. And I don't see the Saints getting better in 1 week. I mean, I don't know.
Yes, they did.
That's
I'm not
tempting,
laying
Jim.
16.5. I will put them on. I will put them on the money line though.
All right. Just thought I'd ask.
Brian's Browns at the Lions. Lions
Yes.
are an 8.5-point favorite.
Those fools.
This game opened at 8.5. It is still 8.5. Over under on this opened at 45.5. It went down to 44.5. Lions are 39-12 straight up. They are 14-7 against the spread. They are 27-10 against the spread at home. Jared Goff is 37-13 against the spread inside. Dan Campbell is 13-4 against the spread in September. The AFC North is 32-20-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. And favorites of 4 points or more are 17-2 straight up.
And by the way, to everybody out there, make sure you're on X following TNAM Football, the Unhappy Hour _ and Seahawk Boy Mike B, because these are all tweeted out on our accounts so that you can take these betting trends to the bank, hopefully. So what are you doing on this one, Jim? What do you like? 8.5? That's a big number. Maybe the under.
That's a big number. I will not lay 8.5. The Lions on the money line looks tasty. The Browns are coming off a win against the Packers. They're probably high as a kite, and they're probably going to go into this game. I'm not going to say overconfident. I don't look at this game going over the total based on the Browns defense, and I don't like laying that 8.5 based on the Browns defense.
So you're just going to avoid it.
I'll probably end up avoiding this game. Best case or worst case scenario, I would, hold a gun to my head. I'm taking the Lions on the money line.
Gotcha. Okay.
Titans and Texans. This is an interesting game. The Titans are what, 0-3 this week. The Texans are 0-3 this season.
Something's got to give.
Texans are a 7.5 point favorite. Too many points. Titans are 10-9-1 against the spread on the road after a loss. That's a coin flip. The Titans are 3-17 against the spread overall. But the Titans are 4-1 straight up versus the Texans at Houston. The Texans are 6-4 straight up at home. And favorites again, 4 or more points, are 17-2 straight up. I like Tennessee getting 7.5 in this game. I will more than likely put this on my parlay. I like this number, even though both teams are winless. It's a division game. They're more than familiar with each other than the fact that Cam Ward is quarterbacking Nashville now. But I think the Titans have better than a good shot at covering that 7.5.
All right.
Is everybody frozen up here?
No,
No,
I'm soaking it up.
I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I learned my lesson with CJ and the Texans. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't want to touch it. Somebody has to win.
I got the Titans.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly no matter what happens.
Yeah, I got the Titans in this game.
That shit is going to be uglier than Scottie Pippen. I'm just telling you. That is ugly.
What about uglier than Sam Cassell?
Sam Cassell was not a
Well,
good guy.
No offense to Scotty or Sam. It's just,
Yeah, I gave
the chance of the Texans winning this game probably are the same odds as Lamar Jackson being an NFL broadcaster when he retires. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh my God. All right, Panthers Patriots, another game nobody.
Panthers and Patriots. Patriots are -8. Check that, -5.5 in this game. This is an outdoor game. It's going to be 81 degrees in Foxborough. Believe it or not, partly cloudy. The Panthers are 2-16-1 straight up on the road. I like the Patriots in this game. 5.5 is a big number to two mediocre squads here. Play on this game would probably be the Patriots on the money line. I see our guy Ramondre Stevenson making a comeback in this game.
All right, let's hope.
Go Travion.
Next game, San Diego at the Giants. 82 degrees and partly cloudy. The San Diego Chargers are 8-0 straight up versus teams with losing records. Favorites of 4 or more points are 17-2 straight up. Russell Wilson is 15-5 against the spread as a home dog.
Not relevant.
Did somebody say Jackson Dart was going to start this game?
Yes, Jackson Dart is going to start.
Yeah.
Okay, throw that number out.
No fooling.
8-0 straight up. I like the Chargers in this game. Chargers are a good traveling to the East Coast team. Next game, Eagles are a favorite against Tampa Bay in Tampa. 91 degrees and thunderstorms this game. Eagles are 16-8 against the spread. That's all the information I really have on this game. This is a conference game, not a division game.
Yeah.
Eagles 3.5 point favorite. If you like the Eagles a lot, I'm not crazy about it. I still got faith in Baker Mayfield. I think the Buccaneers have potential to pull this game out.
I would just remind everybody that Mike Evans has a hamstring injury again. I'd remind you that Chris Godwin is still either coming back this week or nursing an injury still and not going to be there. They're missing 3 of their offensive linemen. So, yes, Baker's pulling rabbits out of hats, but they are the walking wounded as well.
Yeah.
Right. I've got that on my injury stat. Mike Evans is out.
Mhm.
He will not play.
All right. Jags,
Uh,
Niners.
Colts and Rams.
Oh, wait a minute.
We'll do Colts and Rams first, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. This game opened at 3.5, and it's still 3.5. The over/under was 48.5. It went to 49.5. So
Where
based
are
on,
Colts Rams at? I'm
I don't
missing
have.
it.
It's not on there. It didn't get on. It just didn't get on the screen capture.
Oh, okay. Just making sure I wasn't looking at the wrong page or had the wrong page
No,
up.
you're
Okay.
not.
all right,
Sorry.
there's not a lot of info I have on this game. The Rams are 12-4 straight up the week before playing the 49ers. So this is one of those look-ahead games. The Rams are going to be looking ahead playing Santa Clara. It's a division game. Historically, the Rams are really strong before they play Santa Clara. They're 12-4 straight up the week before playing Santa Clara. So I like the Rams as a play on this this particular game. I think the Colts have been playing a little bit over their head. You know, they haven't been playing a lot of strong teams. You know, the Titans. So they're going to go into LA and play the Rams. I look for the Rams to win and cover in this game. Okay, we'll go to Jacksonville at Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Clara is going to be, of course, 72 degrees, partly cloudy. The Jaguars are 0-4 versus the 49ers. I like the 49ers in this game, even if they're the walking wounded. The 49ers seem to have the Jaguars number. Mike, you mentioned this game earlier, didn't you?
Yeah. You know, I just how easy the Ram or the 49ers schedule has been. I think this is another W for them, but I think it may be the last game they win for a while. Maybe it may be mid-October before another game.
We're not crazy about the half point here. I would rather 49ers be -3 instead of 3.5. Obviously, over under in this game is 46.5. So they figure it to be relatively a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Ravens -2.5 at the Chiefs. Kansas City is going to be 86 degrees and sunny. Lamar Jackson is 25-10 straight up. He is 26-11 against the spread as a favorite of -3 or less, or as a dog. Teams that play the Detroit Lions are 6-10 straight up. They are 3-13 against the spread the week after. So that's a big consideration as far as laying that 2.5.
Yep.
Andy Reid is 27-6 straight up in September. Patrick Mahomes is 19-4 straight up in September. The Chiefs are only 6-11 against the spread, but they're 4-1 straight up against the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes is 28-12-1 straight up as a favorite of 3 or fewer points, or as an underdog. The Chiefs are 12-4 against the spread as an underdog, but they're only 11-6 straight up as a dog if you're playing the game straight up.
Okay.
So there's a lot of numbers to crunch in that game. I probably won't be playing this game. I'll just lay off it and watch it. It'll be a good game to watch. Probably not a good game to bet.
Yeah.
Bears and Raiders. The Bears are coming to Las Vegas this week. The Raiders are -1.5. That game opened at 1.5. The over/under in this game is 47.5. It's a pretty big number. Bears are only 13-33 straight up. They're 4-23 straight up on the road. The NFC North is 32-20-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. And the glaring number in this game, Geno Smith is 4-12-1 against the spread at home.
I know who I'm betting that game.
Ouch.
All right.
Yeah.
Packers, Cowboys. Izzy's Cowboys.
Okay, these last 3 games are potential hedge games if you like parlays. Packers opened at 6.5. I saw this morning they are still 6.5. Over under 47.5. Packers, the NFC North 32-20, as we said before, against non-division. Packers are 9-5 straight up when favored by 4 or more points. Favorites of 4 or more points are 17-2 straight up. The Cowboys are 19-8 straight up at home.
Mm-hmm.
But the Cowboys are 5-17 straight up as a dog. Historically, the Cowboys don't play the Packers real strong. And the big bugaboo in this game, of course, is the player that they traded to Green Bay. And everything I've read, he's looking forward to coming back to Dallas.
And Kenny Clark got injured last game. I don't know how big it is, though. Unfortunately, the guy we traded for.
Next night game. There's going to be 2 Monday night games. This is the first Monday night game. The New Jersey Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins opened at 2.5. And they are still 2.5. You may say, boy, that's odd, Miami being a favorite. 86 degrees and thunderstorms in this game. The reason it's 2.5, the wise guys know this. The New York Jets are 0-10 straight up in Miami. They haven't won a game in the last 10 years in Miami. 0-10. If you're going to make a play on this game, I strongly suggest go ahead and get that 2.5 with the Dolphins before it goes to 3. Because 3 is going to be the magic number.
Yeah.
Bengals at Broncos. Broncos are -7, home favorite. 78 degrees and partly cloudy in Denver. The Bengals are 2-18 straight up. Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night. Plus, they don't have Joe Burrow. Broncos are 17-25-1 against the spread. Broncos are 7-1 straight up and against the spread versus a team with a losing record. Favorites of 4 or more are 17-2 straight up. 7's a big number. I don't like 7. But if you had to play the game, and if you want the points, the Broncos are probably the side in this game. If you want to play a conservative, go ahead and take the Broncos on the parlay with the money line. That way you can lay real small money and get your money back on the Bengals and come back over the top.
All right. Thank you, James. Brian, are you frozen? Nope.
I am here.
All right. Interesting stuff. Makes me rethink some of my picks for this week. So, shall we go to the picks? Or?
Let's go to the picks. I got mine ready. You have yours. Perfect. We'll start with you, Mike. Where are you at on the season? 31-17.
31-17, which may not be enough to actually lead, but I was 10-6 again this week. I made huge mistakes in believing in the fail-cons. I believed in the badness of the Browns. They proved me wrong. And Houston was a big mistake. I think I was right about the Rams beating the Eagles, but they just found a way to screw it up. And
four quarters, Mike. 4 quarters.
Yeah, you can't win. Can you win the game in the third quarter? No. That's an old Pete Carroll thing. All right, let's go to week 4. Talk about this stuff. Seattle and Arizona. Seattle's money for all the reasons we talked about. I think they're going to win that game. I'm taking the points all day. I'm going to bet that game. Minnesota at Pittsburgh. This is really a tough game. Excuse me. The one thing that worries me about this game, the way I'm going to pick the Vikings, but the one thing that concerns me is the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers maybe being pissed off that the Vikings didn't go after him. So that could mean he could have a great game, but I expect the Vikings to, the way they played last week, to continue that. Carolina at New England. God, who cares? What was the stuff on Carolina and New England, Jim? It was There was not a lot there. Panthers are 2-16 on the road. Yeah, so let's go with New England and take them at home. Cleveland at Detroit. If this was a home game, I would pick the Browns. I think they're going to challenge the Lions, but I think the Lions are going to just barely squeak it out. Los Angeles at New York, also money. Jackson Dart. I'm sorry, son. It's going to be a long, long day. Bills and Saints. Again, we all know who's going to win the game. It's going to be the Bills. I'm probably going to lay the points on that, Jim. I'm greedy, and I'm going to lay the points on that one. That's a sure thing. That's a sure thing for me. The Chargers is a sure thing, and the Seahawks.
Mike, if I can interrupt you just once on that game, one thing I didn't bring up. There's a scenario where Buffalo gets way ahead, and they end up resting players in this game. The Saints are so bad.
Right.
That is what will kill the 16.5.
Yeah, you do have to be concerned about that. You're right. And, based on me losing out on a parlay because of a blocked field goal on the last play of the game, run back for a touchdown by a 290-pound defensive tackle, 70 yards. Yeah, bad shit can happen to Mike when he bets. Eagles, Tampa. I think the Eagles are ripe for a loss. I think they should have lost last week, but given the injuries you guys pointed out on Tampa side, I got to go with the Eagles on the road. Tennessee at Houston. It's two terrible teams. I got to pick Houston at home, but I'm not touching the game. Washington, Atlanta. Jaden Daniels or no Jaden Daniels. I just can't bet the Falcons after that performance last week. I know they're going to be desperate, but I do think that whether it's Marcus Mariota under center or whether it's Jaden Daniels, I think Washington, the Redskins, Commanders are going to be good enough. Indianapolis at Los Angeles. I think the Rams come back from a disappointment and squeak one out against the Colts. Jacksonville at San Francisco. That's another game I'm going to bet solidly. 49ers all the way. Baltimore, Kansas City. This is the game I'm up in the air. Baltimore needs the win. So does Kansas City. Both teams are 1-2. I like the Andy Reid Mahomes stats in September. The weather's going to be fine. I just think the Ravens defense just can't stop anybody. Like we pointed out, the worst scoring defense in the NFL. I think that's bad news against Mahomes. So Chicago and Vegas also feel really good about this. Caleb Williams versus Geno Smith. I'm going to take Caleb Williams. Green Bay at Dallas. I'd like to give the Cowboys something, but without CeeDee Lamb, I think that the angry Packers bounce back a little bit. New York at Miami. Look, Jets simply don't win in Miami, so I'm going to take Miami. Cincinnati at Denver. I'm not betting Cincinnati until they score more than 3 points in a game and win, again, without Joe Burrow. I don't think they're going to. I think the Broncos win that one and even themselves. Those are my picks for this week.
All right. Jim, do you want to make yours next? And you're going to do it the way where you spin it to the side?
Oh, yeah. We're going old school here.
Old school styly. Hey, I was going to ask you, Mike, I'm logged into the draft picker. What is this called? The NFL game picker.
NFL game picker. Yeah.
Are we all rolling independent or are we all in a league together?
No, we're
can't remember.
We should have formed a league, but I didn't get around to that. So yeah.
Can we do it now? Like even if you're, can we just pick it up?
I will look into it and see if we can form a league. Yes. I'll do that offline while Jim's making his picks because.
Perfect. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, as far as the season goes, I'm probably in the cellar. I'm probably one less than Mike. I'm 30-18 on the season. Didn't do too well last night as far as my straight up picks. I've got Seattle, as we talked about before, winning the game over Arizona. The Vikings, I see winning that game based on the Great Britain stat, as far as favorites winning the game. They are still a 2.5-point favorite. I've got the Patriots.
Jim, real quick, I just wanted to bring up this point. Yeah, the Great Britain stat, not to be confused with New England Patriots. Funny joke. Well played.
That reminds me of a great story.
Not to be confused.
I have a great stripper in Vegas, New England story someday. I'll tell you guys.
All right. I'm all in. Jim, keep going.
Carolina at New England. Carolina's got a horrendous road record. I'll take New England. Our guy Ramondre Stevenson's going to bounce back in this game. Detroit hosting Cleveland. I've got Detroit straight up in this game. San Diego at the Giants. I got San Diego winning this game and covering. Buffalo. Nothing needs to be said about that game. Eagles at Tampa Bay. I'll go ahead and take Philadelphia to win 4 in a row here. Tennessee is going to beat Houston in this game. It's going to be their first win. D'Amico Ryans is going back up on the death pole. Washington, our Redskins at the Falcons. The Falcons, indoor team. Redskins don't historically play well under a dome. I'll go ahead and take the Falcons to bounce back after being embarrassed last week against Carolina.
Wow.
The Rams at home against Indianapolis. We talked about that before. We'll go ahead and take Los Angeles. 49ers go ahead and go 5-0 against the Jaguars. The Chiefs, I look at them to go ahead and squeak out a win against Baltimore. I think our Raiders. I'm not a Raider fan at all, but I think that they're going to go ahead and beat the Bears. I think the Bears are going to be just a little overrated as to what they did last week against Izzy's Cowboys. They'll go ahead and win the game. Green Bay at Dallas. Green Bay all day. They're going to beat Dallas in Dallas. The Dolphins will go 11-0 against the Jets. And the Broncos at home against the Bengals. Like Mike said, when the Bengals score more than 3 points, we'll look at them. But until then, we'll go ahead and take the Broncos straight up.
All right.
Okay.
That Falcons pick is a big ball pick, man. Do you carry your balls around on a wheelbarrow, dude? Because that is a ballsy pick.
Hey, there's no money on that game, Mike. It doesn't cost anything just to pick a game.
That's true. It's true, but we're playing for pride here. So
yes, play for pride. That was the name of one of my fantasy football leagues. Play for pride. Izzy, what do you got? How did you do last week, and what's your overall?
All right. I'm the same as Mike right now. I'm 33-17. 31-17. My bad.
31-17.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't put in the Miami Buffalo game. That one. Yeah. But yeah, last week I did pretty bad. I went 8-8. So I'll come up. A little bit of bad games. I kind of felt like it. I chose a lot of iffy teams. It was some weird games. But yeah, week 4, I got my picks. I got to go caveman style as well. So Seattle, Arizona. I got Seattle, of course. I'm high on Seattle. Minnesota, Pittsburgh. I'm taking Minnesota. They're close up to the Nordic region, so got to take the Vikings. Panthers, Patriots. I heard your bets for that game, but I'm gonna still take the Panthers. I feel like they're gonna win it. Browns, Lions. I'm gonna take the Lions. I feel like the Lions could get it done against the Browns. The main reason why is because of the Browns offense has to produce. Chargers, New York. I'm a Chargers all day. I'm gonna take the Chargers. Bills, Saints. I got the Bills, of course. Tennessee, Houston. I got Cam Ward picking up his first NFL win. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Someone's always got to go. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I heard there was some weather, so Bucky Urban could get a lot of carries. That game, Atlanta Falcons, Redskins. I got the Falcons because Jaden Daniels is still out, and I feel like it's going to be a bounce back week. Indianapolis Rams. It's a really, really good game. Really good game. I really want to take the Rams, but I'm gonna stay high on the Colts and winning because I've been doing that. Jaguars, 49ers. I feel like the 49ers are going to take their first L. The Jaguars are going to win. Ravens of Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore versus Kansas City. I know Kansas City for a fact is really good in September, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I feel like they can't fall to 1-3. I don't believe what John Harbaugh has it in him. Bears Raiders. I'm gonna take the Bears, unfortunately, until the Raiders can figure it out with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. Then I'm gonna take the Bears. New York Miami. I'm gonna take Miami. Broncos Bengals. I got a blowout. I got the Broncos winning. And Cowboys Packers. I'm gonna be a homer. They don't have Aaron Jones. I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
Aaron Jones being out is painful to me.
Brian, you have less than a minute to get us in under 2 hours.
I respect the homer play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones just realistically oh my gosh, he plays so good. No, Aaron Jones, our run defense is better. So forces Jordan Love to throw it to a bunch of
plumbers,
high schoolers. Yeah.
Bunch
Wow,
of plumbers.
Brian, 13-3 last week, Brian. Wow, that's a
13-3 for 2 weeks in a row, by the way. If you go back to week 2, 13-3 again. It was that first week that screwed me over, only going 10-6, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
But here we are. I'm sitting at 36-12. That is respectable, fellas. Let's hope
you are leading. And by the way, if you click on that button that says all leagues over there on the right, there might be a strictly football league in there.
Yes, there is.
Click on that. I don't know what difference it makes, but
I didn't see it do anything, but maybe it does say it. Yes.
Yes. So
well, I guess if I click leaderboard, Brian E and Mike B. So we need to get you two to sign into this one.
Yeah.
Mike, can you send invites?
I don't know. Yeah, but I'll try. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because we are in there and we do get to see it. Does it show last year too? Yeah. It's a 24 season. There we go.
Yeah.
You were 190 and 95 last year.
You were my bitch last year. Buddy.
You crushed it. I was 154 and 131, barely 500. All right.
I'll try to get those invites out to Jim and Izzy this week or something.
Okay. Well, let me go to 2025. Now, how do I get back to where I was on this? There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I'm going to pick Seattle heads up over Arizona. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a weird thing that happens there, but I'm still going Seattle. Minnesota, Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. It's the what?
Aaron Rodgers' revenge, though, buddy.
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. I think just some of that veteran presence and the Steelers' organizational stability.
I think he wanted to sign with the Vikings, and they rejected him, and I think he's going to be pissed.
Well, he was kind of on that legacy journey of Brett Favre to do the exact same thing, and they robbed him of his legacy. Yep. So, yes. Okay, for that reason, I'm going Aaron Rodgers in that game. Carolina, New England. Hey, Carolina woke us up a little bit. I'm not high on the Patriots, but I got to think they're going to give it to Travion Henderson, who's going to hit a home run, and it's going to matter, and we'll call that the difference, picking the Patriots here. Cleveland against Detroit. Well, of course, I'm going to click the Browns and then click the Lions. You got to prove it. No. I switched it back. I switched it over to the Lions. I think
Jesus, really?
No, I did. I got to see the Browns score some legitimate points before I can.
Brian, show some hair, man. Take the Browns.
You would like that, wouldn't you? Well, you know what? Fine.
Yes, we would.
For posterity's sake, I'm taking the Browns straight up. Because I do think that Quinshon Judkins is going to open up this team in ways that we don't realize. I think the veteran leadership of Flacco is going to matter. I think things are going to start to gel. I do.
Hey, Mike, it worked. It worked, Mike. He took the Browns.
Peer pressure, guys. Peer pressure. I'm going to take the Chargers over the Giants, of course. Buffalo over New Orleans, of course. Yeah, this is a coin flip. 2 3-0 teams. Oh, this is at Tampa Bay. That might. Let me come back to that one. Tennessee, Houston. I'm going to do Houston. Houston can't be this bad, can they? Maybe,
yes.
But I'm picking Houston anyway. Washington, Atlanta. I'm going to go Washington there. Although I do think the Falcons can bounce back. They have too much offensive talent. Oh, here's another one. Indy and Chargers in Los Angeles. But Los Angeles isn't much of a home field advantage because there's so many transplants. I'm going to pick the Colts. They got a shot to go undefeated this year. You heard it from me first. Jacksonville at San Francisco. I'm going to go 49ers. Baltimore, Kansas City. I'm picking Baltimore. I think the Chiefs are very mortal. There's no other way to say it. Chicago, Vegas. you're going to have to show me more than 1 week to have me bought in on the Bears. I'm going to pick Vegas there. Green Bay, Dallas. I'm going Green Bay. New York, Miami. Blah. Do I have to? Jeez. Yuck. I mean, it is in Miami, but oh, geez. I don't like either of these teams. Can I pick a push? Can I punt on this one? I'm going to go Jets. I'm going to say there's going to be a big game for Garrett Wilson.
86 degrees and thunderstorms.
Okay. Well, then that would kind of thunderstorms. That might help the running game. I'm still going to go. Yeah, Breece Hall. I'm going to go with New York. I'm going to go pick the Jets. Cincy at Denver. I'm going Denver. They've been underperforming, and Cincy's without a captain. And then back to this game that I couldn't figure out. Philly, Tampa. My heart says Tampa, and so does my pick. I'm going to go ahead and pick for an upset in that one.
Yeah, you just made me switch one of my picks. I switched over from the Bears and Raiders game to the Raiders.
So you just switched? I
don't know. I just believe in Ashton Genty too much. They got to get him the ball, and I'm kind of mad we did lose to the Bears out of all teams.
And I think 4 weeks in, fellas, we're going to be finding coaches that are trying to figure new things out, things that haven't worked, bucking trends, making switches, and I think some teams are going to start organically gelling and playing.
Yeah, and I don't know if Pete Carroll could do that.
The Bears are just too high after the win over Dallas.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a risk. They're a young team, a new coach. They're going to not be very level-headed. They're going to get full of themselves. Take it easy at practice this week. That makes a lot of sense. Bears are still going to win. So,
all right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here on season 2, episode 5 of Strictly Football. This was awesome. Episode 5, everybody. Any final thoughts around the horn before we bounce? Mike.
No.
Tell us about your event in Nashville.
Oh, yeah. I'll be in Nashville this weekend at the Alien Fest, Nashville Alien Fest. I don't know exactly where in Nashville. It's at a hotel, a fancy schmancy hotel. I'll be there with my friend Tom Reed, whose whole family was abducted by aliens in 1969. I'll be talking aliens. I'll be autographing books. Come out. There's going to be music, rock bands, DJs, and it's going to be a great event. If you're in the area, stop on by.
And that stuff's on your website, or where have you share on your X?
Everywhere. Yeah,
okay.
I'll put it out everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, if this weekend was any other weekend, I would probably be down there, but I do have something going on. Darn it, I would have wanted to be there for it. Jim,
Ryan has a booty call.
Jim, any final thoughts as we bounce?
Yeah, just 2 things. Number one, for you political liberals here, this is Julius Marx here, born in 1898.
It is not.
Marxism. All right.
Yeah, but luckily he would never join any group.
It's a play on words. It's not my political belief.
He would never join.
Number 2, Mike and Dave are coming over Thursday night for the Seahawks game.
Oh,
pineapple. Yes. And bacon pizza.
There will be no pineapple on the pizza.
Can I suggest maybe considering pairing a little jalapeno with the sweetness of the pineapple?
Hey, you guys know what you need to do? My favorite when I do
the jalapenos always go on, Brian. That's
all right. Good.
You gotta try you gotta mix out the sauce on the pizza with barbecue sauce. Put chicken and pepperoni, and then try to put some pepperoncinis on there, banana peppers. It's really good in my opinion.
Black olives on that mix, I would take.
I don't know about olives, but pepperoncinis, you should try that.
I like that sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce with chicken and red onion.
Heck yeah! Now, all right, good. Now we're all hungry for dinner. That sounds like a great way to wrap this one up. Izzy, you jumped in on the pizza. Did you have any other final thought before we bounce here?
No.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, and everybody out there watching, thank you so much. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends. We do this once a week on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back next week on Strictly Football Season 2, Episode 6. I appreciate you. I love you, and we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. To be continued. See you later.
Be continued.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.